Hello everyone, it's Attack72 here, and for today, this is another type of Nintendo news video, and for today's topic, this is coming out straight after the Nintendo Direct live stream that I just did. I'm currently out of breath right now because there was a lot of unexpected things that happened in this Nintendo Direct overall. So in this video, I want to be going throughout all of the big highlights that happened during the latest Nintendo Direct. Usually whenever I do these types of highlights, I mostly go through all of the most personal big highlights that I considered really huge that happened during the Direct, and also in the end, I will highlight it on whether or not this Direct was good or bad, or was it worth watching and all. And just like before, this is only 40 minutes like in the past Directs, so I really hope you all enjoy this video. And if you notice I might get some voice cracks throughout the video, that's because I'm still trying to calm down after the sudden excitements that happened during this presentation and all, and I really hope you all enjoy this video. And so with that, let's not waste time, but let's get through the highlights of today's Nintendo Direct presentation. First off, we started out with a bit of a banger so far, being Pikmin 4, the long-awaited sequel to Pikmin 3 after 7 years of development, and it's really been quite a long ride ever since they announced that Pikmin 4 was nearly done in development. Then years later we haven't seen it since, but now we are just eventually getting into Pikmin 4 right now. We've seen a couple brand new gameplay footage, along with a new Pikmin being the Ice Pikmin. We also got to see an unusual dog-like alien in this game. We also get to get introduced to a few new mechanics, one of them obviously being the dog mechanic. We get to see a few new characters, and apparently what happens at night, the Bulborbs become evil or something like that. That's just kind of what I saw from the end of that teaser, and this will be getting a July 2023 release date. You know what? I thought they were gonna do May since that was leaked a while back, just like a few days back, but honestly, it being a bit too soon doesn't really add up at all. But it being a July release date, that's a good thing, to be honest. Who doesn't love that good old summer release and all? And, you know, if you are just getting into the Pikmin series, and after all, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is still available out there, I think it's best for you to play this game if you are a fan of the franchise after all, and it looks like Nintendo wants to give out the respect that the series can deserve. Next up is something that has been rumored for so long at this point, like 4 to 5 years this has been rumored, and now it is finally here, so y'all can shut up about these rumors at that point. Now, look, I get it. I mean, it's not the trilogy that many were hoping for, but Metroid Prime Remastered is a game that I never thought would ever get, released, and strangely enough, it's actually out today. If you are a fan of the Metroid series, then Metroid Prime Remastered is available right now digitally on the Nintendo Switch. It only costs at around $40 and all, but if you don't really like the game, get in the game digitally, you can actually get Metroid Prime Remastered on physically, because it's coming out in about a couple weeks on February 22nd, which is Friday. Wednesday, I mean. So, yeah, it's great how the Metroid series is really getting treated so well on the Switch era. We got Metroid Dread and the original Metroid games on Nintendo 60, on the SNES and NES games and all, and now I think recently with the Game Boy one, which I will mention on later on. This would be a major one if I had the chance, but honestly, this deserves something, and given with Metroid Prime Remastered now being here, I am curious on why they didn't add Metroid Prime 2 or Metroid Prime 3 at all. And if this gets announced at all, then there could be still more hope for Metroid Prime 4, if that ever is the case. Yeah, sure, I know Metroid Prime 4, I knew it wasn't going to be shown off, but there had to be some sort of Metroid-related content in there, and you know what, this will suffice. I'm happy for the Metroid fans. I'm sorry I doubted you for so long, but I can at least be happy and glad that the rumors can finally settle down. And like I said, this is out today digitally, and we'll get a physical version later on the 22nd of this month. Next up is Splatoon 3, the Expansion Pass DLC. It will be featuring 2 waves. The first one is a very unexpected surprise, as you can actually go to the original Inkopolis from Splatoon 1. Yeah, the Inkopolis featuring the Squid Sisters. I am wondering where Pearl and Marina are right now, as they were shown off from last year, but I wasn't too sure where they're going to be at. But if you want, but this first wave, being the visit of Inkopolis, will be coming out on spring this year. This will be the first wave, and unexpectedly, they showed up a second wave. And just like what they did with the Octo expansion pass from Splatoon 2, this time we got ourselves another new single-player campaign known as Side Order. Now, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. From what I can see, from what I can tell, it's all simply blank. There's no color aside from the main character. The only thing that I can presume is that this is either going to be a backstory, a prequel to Splatoon 1 and all, or this could be a brand new side story that might have taken place between Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3. I don't know. Splatoon lore can be a bit weird, but yeah, if you really, pre-orders are currently available right now for the first pass, and like I said, the first wave will be coming out on spring of this year. So for those Splatoon fans, this is something to be excited about. You get to see the Squid Sisters again and get to recognize some old characters. So yeah, and not only that, visiting Inkopolis in Splatoon 3 is the technicality of having Splatoon 1 on the Switch if you really wanted that. Next up is the obvious one, which, to be fair, it was leaked a few days back, and that is the fact that Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe will have an epilogue version story about Magolor, who will play a huge role in this game. As they stated in the trailer and teaser, Magolor Epilogue is a brand new story that you can only get after you beat the entire game. So, if you want to go to the epilogue of what happened with Magolor, you can pretty much do that by just playing the entire story. And it seems from Magolor's epilogue, it's supposed to show that, the main character, Magolor, has seemingly lost his powers somehow and tries to return to his world. And if you have friends with you, you can pretty much play this multiplayer with 4 other Magolor characters. Throughout the game, you can also fight some bosses and enemies and try to regain your powers. So, from what I can tell from this story mode, this post-story mode game, I feel like this is like sort of an extra hard mode, in my opinion. And like I mentioned, this will be coming out in about a couple weeks. Same goes with Octopath Traveler 2, but I know most of you Kirby fans will love to get this game because, well, it's Kirby. Weirdly enough is that this comes out 2 days right after the physical version of Metroid Prime Remastered, so yeah, that's something. Next up is what got me really excited, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 4. And in Wave 4, we've got quite an unexpected surprise. Here on the official Nintendo of America, it looks like Wave 4 will be featuring a brand new course, being Yoshi's Island. And no, not just the typical Mario-esque Yoshi Island, I mean straight up Yoshi Island from the SNES days. We got the classic Yoshi Island elements and all, and not only that, it will feature a new character. Yeah, that's right. The Booster Course Pass will feature a new character, being the returning Birdo. Honestly, I'm surprised Birdo wasn't part of the game to begin with. I'm surprised Birdo wasn't added as an unlockable character when the game released. I'm just excited that we finally get to see a returning character after so long. And if you're wondering about how many characters there will be, well, first of all, from this brand new sudden article from Business Wire, if you look very closely at the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe portion of this one, you notice that it says Birdo, who originally hit the track on Mario Kart 8 Double Dash, is also being added. But from this one, it looks like that returning characters from Mario Kart series will be added in future waves. So Birdo is not going to be the only character. So that means there's still hope for Diddy Kong and Funky Kong to return, and also Petey Piranha. I'm total shock right now because my question is, why did it took Nintendo this long for the 4th wave? Why did it took until the 4th wave to add a new character? I feel like they should have added characters from the very beginning, to be honest. And also, by the way, if you look right here from this one, this is from the UK version, and from the looks of it, it seems that Wave 4 with 8 courses will only feature 1 character. So if my calculation is correct, I assume Wave 5 and Wave 6 will feature only 1 character as well. You know what? I don't care if it's like characters that are returning. At least they are finally coming back because we've suffered from the same character roster for many years at that point. But it's great to see a new returning character, but a new course that is actually giving up a nostalgia vibe, because Yoshi Island, of all things, like, just this is a real Yoshi Island, not the typical Mario-esque Yoshi Island. So this is something to be excited about, and this will be coming out on spring of 2023. So I assume it could be March or April. After all, March is supposed to be the 1-year anniversary after the release of the Booster Course Pass. So yeah, this got me excited. After all, a returning character, that is something to be happy for, to be honest, even though they should have done that for the first wave. Next up, I hope you're all excited for this, Advance Wars fans, because Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp has finally gotten a definitive release date. After months of waiting ever since its delay last year, we've finally gotten a definitive release date, and it will be coming out on April 21st, 2023. Strangely enough, the intended release date that was supposed to be from last year. And you know what? It's great to see. I don't personally have a connection with Advance Wars, but I know for the fans, they finally get to play this game after many years, after many months of patiently waiting since the delay. I get it was honestly delayed for reasons, but I feel like they should have given out some updates from the last major Nintendo Direct. But yeah, this will be coming out in April, which was weirdly the intended release date and all, but I really but if you are a huge fan of the Advance Wars series and want to replay it, then you can do it with this one. Next up is another exciting thing. Now, Wave 3 is supposed to be coming out this year, and with Wave 3 of Xenoblade Chronicles 3's expansion pass, we've gotten a couple things. First off, some new challenges and a brand new hero. And this hero is known as Masha. I think that was the name in this one. This is from the Japanese Xenoblade Chronicles Twitter account, by the way. The new hero Masha is an attack-type healer that heals surrounded allies when critical. Her character design is illustrator Mai Yonemiyama. And from the design itself, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminds me of a Genshin Impact character just from the looks of it. But hey, it's honestly good to see we'll be getting this new wave, surprisingly enough, next week on Friday, February 15th. I did not expect the third wave to come out very soon, but I thought it was gonna be April, as that was supposed to be the intended release date. But unexpectedly enough, we've gotten a sudden new teaser for the 4th wave of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And lo and behold, we actually got a new look at this. We get to see Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and then Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, all grown up, and it seems that they're facing off against Alvis, a key character that plays a role in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I never thought they'd show the 4th wave so soon. I thought they would show it at around maybe spring of this year and all, but we got a really good look and a small teaser of the 4th wave. And the one thing that shocks me the most is gotta be Rex, because because there's no way this is the same character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Look at the current one we have from the 2nd game, and look at the one we have now in the 4th volume. They're in the 4th wave. There is no way this is the same character. Rex had a glow up. This man had a whole glow up right here. Not only that, we also get a look at seemingly a new character, which from the design itself, it kind of looks like Noah and to me, this seems to be the first Ouroboros character. And as you can see here, this is Alvis, and from the looks of it, it feels like Alvis could be a bad guy from this one, given that Rex and Shulk tries to stop him. What exactly happened with Alvis? I have to know, to be honest. But yeah, teaser for Wave 3, and then a huge one for Wave 4. Wave 4 is definitely the one that got me excited the most, because of the return of familiar characters, along with a couple new ones that I'm excited for to see what they have to offer. And I swear, they decided to make the 4th wave a digital, a separate physical version, like they would what they did with the Torna Golden Country. I will definitely buy that to, Next up is, enough with the Xenoblade talk. Now we get to talk about more waves from Fire Emblem Engage, the latest in the Fire Emblem franchise. And strangely enough, Wave 2 is already out today. I mean, I did not expect Wave 2 to already get another wave despite the game just coming out right now. For the first two waves, we've gotten new emblems. First up is Hector, Emblem of Strength, Soren, Emblem of Acumen, and finally Camilla, Emblem of Revelation. To me, I find this very funny because isn't Azurda like a huge main character in Fire Emblem Fates? It's funny how Camilla, of all characters, gets to represent Fates even more, despite Azurda playing a huge role in this one. And this is only the first three emblems in the second wave. But in the third pack, we'll be getting Chrom and Robin, Emblem of Bonds, which I honestly thought they could have done. In my review for Fire Emblem Engage, I'm surprised Chrom and Robin wasn't part of the base game, because Lucina was, but not these two. So I find that surprising. And we also get, surprisingly, Veronica representing Fire Emblem Heroes. I did not expect Heroes to get represented. And the last but not least, the fourth wave, we got another teaser like they did with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This is a brand new story game known as Fail Xenologies, along with a couple new characters and new enemies. So yeah, we're definitely getting a lot of hype with the DLC more than the big games and all. Not to say that it's a bad thing, alright? It's just that the DLC really gives out a lot of big things that I honestly didn't expect, to be honest. Especially with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Fire Emblem Engage. Yeah, I'm definitely eating as an RPG fan. Next up is something that I honestly thought was the peak of the Nintendo Direct in my opinion, and that is the fact that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be coming to the Nintendo Switch online service, which honestly, I stated there was going to be something about Nintendo Switch Online, but I never thought it had to be Game Boy of all things. Strangely enough, Game Boy and Game Boy Advances were leaked last year, but the fact that it took this long and they finally announced it is even shocking. So, from the looks of it, for the Game Boy Advance games, we only got a few games so far, going from Wario Land, Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap, Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, Tetris and all, and this is only for the regular Nintendo Switch Online service. If you want to play the Game Boy Advance ones, you have to play with the expansion packs, which pretty much features some classic games, going from Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga, one of the RPGs that I've always wanted to play, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which is strangely enough one of the upcoming games. And if you're wondering about the upcoming games, we got the Fire Emblem game here, which I assume is the very first Fire Emblem game to actually come outside of Japan, along with the return of more F-Zero games. It's great to see F-Zero getting more love, and also the return of Golden Sun. So yeah, this was unexpected to me. I currently just played the Game Boy ones and all, and they're supposed to be added more in the future and all. So yeah, this gives them more Wario Land representation along with Mario Land 2. I'm surprised Mario Land 2 is in this, but not the first Mario Land. Why is that exactly? I'm pretty sure because Mario Land is already being represented in Mario Maker 2, but that doesn't really count, because I honestly want to play the actual Mario Land 1 on this one. So this is only, if you want to play the Game Boy Advance ones, you have to get the expansion pack along with the N64 ones. Not gonna lie, with these new additions, I think from what I can tell, this is actually a really good pricing in my opinion, as a $50 as at now, because you know, ever since its announcement, it was really little. They barely offered that much, and many fans were complaining. But with the new additions, I think this year might be the best time for me to finally get the expansion pass, if I have the chance, to be honest. And last but not least, to end things off, and strangely enough, the way the Nintendo Direct ended, is another big teaser for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And you know what? The trailer looks phenomenal. Thank goodness they didn't show that much. Some parts felt intimidating, such as the supposedly corpse of Ganondorf, which honestly I feel like that is already Ganondorf to begin with, along with some brand new gameplay mechanics, especially from the fact that you can make vehicles in this one, and judging by how the gameplay looks, it seems that you won't be playing Zelda in this one, which is kind of disappointing, as I know many fans were hoping to play as Zelda in this one. But if you want to play as Zelda, you can pretty much do that that with Age of Calamity, but even if so, there's actually more Zelda content I have to mention before I end this video off. First off is the fact that we got some brand new artwork for both Zelda and Link. The Link one goes really hard, to be honest, just from the artwork itself and the way he holds the sword and all. And another thing is that we also got some amiibo support, along with a brand new look at the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo. This is actually based off from the actual statue that took place from, I think it was last year. It was taking place during an event, and it had the exact same pose as this amiibo one, so that's really cool. And this will be coming out on the same day as the game. And last but not least, just like with every game, which I don't know why they keep doing this, is another special edition game, which will be a special edition bundle, which will feature the game, a steelbook, a pin set, along with an art book and a poster. So we got another edition, another collector's edition in this one. I swear, Nintendo really loves collector's editions in like the past few months, and I'm not complaining overall. So yeah, these are all of my personal highlights of the latest Nintendo Direct. So, what do I honestly think about it? To be honest, I will give it a 7 out of 10. It is a really great Direct. It's not exciting or amazing, despite all the things I mentioned, and that's really because there were some filler games that kind of got in the way. There were some that felt a bit, I mean, yeah, there were some cool, interesting ones. There were some interesting RPGs that I am intrigued about, but even if so, there were some that felt a bit too filler-like and all. And, you know, as expected, no Donkey Kong game. And, you know what, I really expected no Donkey Kong game at that point. And I get a feeling there was not going to be a Mario movie trailer at some point, because I knew they were going to at least sort of show it off for next month. And funny enough is that they were sad, and that thankfully they did not show a new Mario baseball game. I do not want another situation like what they did with Mario Strikers. So, yeah, great overall, 7 out of 10, with a lot of big excitements. Metroid Prime Remastered, it's officially out. You can get the physical version in a few weeks. These are one of my personal highlights and all. And I want to know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. What do you all think of the latest Nintendo Direct? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What is your personal favorite things that they showed off from this latest presentation? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend.